40-year-old Marcus Wheatley gunned down Wednesday behind his mobile home where he was a barber. Strong says she saw Kadarius Pride, a.k.a. Superstar Pride.
How do we end up here where a rapper went from having a very promising future to literally being charged with first-degree murder? Well, let me explain. Painting Pictures, a song that went viral in 2023 due to its catchy beat that sampled Faith Evans' Soon As I Get Home. It also had a relatable chorus that almost anybody could relate to.
You live by the gun, you gon' die by the gun. Ain't no handouts for nobody. When they ain't had shit, they ain't offer me nothing.
But most importantly, the thing that made it stand out the most was the rapper's viral haircut.
And mama, don't worry, you raised a gangster. I'm a survivor. Hurt me not being able to give you what you want since I was a toddler.
It appeared to be some sort of blowout version of the shag, a haircut that originated maybe up north from what I've seen online, but let's be honest, there's no really way of telling where things like this fully originated because there's so many people that take bits and pieces of everybody else's shit. And in that same spirit, that's exactly what everybody did after seeing his video go viral of him with his haircut. TikTok started being immediately flooded on the site where people mimicked his hairstyle and movements in outlandish ways while singing along to his song.
And mama, don't worry, and mama, don't worry, it hurt me not being able.
And in this process, he quickly went from underground unknown to mainstream, and his song shot up the charts just as fast as well. He was known as Superstar Pride, the rapper with a unique haircut and very deep voice.
It was originated from my uncle, he my barber. He got it. And then he was like, it would look good on you because you superstar. But he said it'll be your haircut. So he's like, let me make you your haircut. And he just made a haircut that fitted me. I didn't know what it would look like before I got up.
But see, success can actually take a toll on you. Oftentimes when you work hard for so long, when you do get success, all you can think about is how much more you want, how scared you are of losing it, the expectations of our now sudden fans, viewers, and family. This is why most successful people say their most successful art, their best times of their lives was before they were rich and famous, because there was no expectations on what they had to do. It was so free flowing and peaceful. And this is exactly what Superstar Pride struggled from. From very early on, it was obvious just looking at the kid that everything was not okay. Whether it was due to him being high in every single interview to the point where in one interview, it took him more than 30 seconds to get one sentence out.
So therefore, I still want to be regular because your 9 to 5 is my 9 to 5. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like,
I mean, even down to literally the song that went viral, he literally talked about in the song how hard of an upbringing he had in life and how he saw a lot of killings at a very young age.
When I'm quiet, I be thinking about killings. A lot of niggas may stand they feelings.
He talked about doing illegal activities and how his mom gave him cocaine to sell.
All the shit that I've done, blessed not being no chains. Uncle killed me when I was young, mom blessed the boy with the cocaine.
He even revealed how he came from a fatherless home and how his mom raised him on his own.
Growing up, I ain't have no daddy. My mama played both roles. Been hard on since I came out the womb. Yeah, this
song, despite it being a viral hit, a meme, it was actually a very dark song about a young man who had a very dark and painful life.
Before 7, I ain't seen so much in the streets. Like
before 7?
Before 7.
Jesus.
Before 7, I probably seen more than the average 16-year-old.
It was essentially a song cry, and people were just laughing at him, turning it into memes. But what's new about that, right? The world seeing your trauma turned art and pimping it for their own satisfaction and entertainment. My point is though, the guy obviously needed help and was not okay, but that wasn't his only problem. Money is the main thing in households that couples argue about. Money is the thing that makes countries go to war and even kill children. And money was one of the main sources to Superstar Pride's downfall, or more specifically, the expectation of money. See, as I said earlier, oftentimes success can be more stressful than the actual journey of getting to success. Because say you're an artist and you finally get signed, you finally get a hit record and everybody's playing it. That doesn't necessarily mean you made any money. Popularity, followers, clout does not equal money. Superstar Pride, although he had this viral hit that was on the charts, he was not making much money. And this was due to him not getting the sample cleared on the song before he made it, but also due to him not having any sponsorships or endorsements, despite him actually having a chance at a record deal. Because it was revealed a couple weeks before the murder, he was actually offered a $3 million deal that he turned down.
I want to speak to one of your newest talents, one of your brightest upstarts. It was an unfortunate predicament, Superstar Pride. He was signed to United Masters and he was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. I want to know, what was your reaction when you heard that news?
It bothered me because the kid was
he was such a stand-up guy. Like when we signed him, there was another bidding war. And he came to Miami and I sat with him and told him about the value of being independent. And he comes from a small town, like 20,000 people. And he wanted like $5 million from a label. And when they didn't give him $5 million, they were offering him $3 million. He's like, if it ain't 5, I'm not signing it. I'm like, what? But the values, you know, values have value.
Values have value.
Values have value. That's what he wanted. And if it wasn't gonna be that, he wasn't moving. When that shit happened 3 weeks later, man, I was like, how many times is this gonna be the same shit? Another young kid who gets money, who has an opportunity to change his life, gets 1 foot pulled back into shit, and then does something that's stupid. Now, look, I don't know, obviously he's charged with, he didn't go to trial yet, but the fact that he was even in that circumstance is the problem. Man had a #1 record.
And the reason I'm going to assume is because he felt like he was worth much more. And it was probably due to him already understanding the stories that we've all heard about how record labels screw over artists at the first chance they can get.
You might get a deal for $3 million and you got to pay taxes on $3 million, but you walked away with 1.8, but you got to pay $3 million. So you got to think about that 1.5 that you spending, paying that for taxes. Now you balled out. Now you got to get another check to make up for the last check. Now you working check to check. Yeah, the check's big, but you working for $1 million to $1 million check.
So due to him not making much money off his music yet, he alluded to later on in interviews that he was having financial struggle trying to pursue music full time. God damn, I just butchered that fucking sentence.
My job get harder with the more success.
Absolutely.
So therefore, I still want to be regular because your 9 to 5 is my 9 to 5. I still got to do 8 hours a day in the studio. Think about this, $1,500 just to get the studio for 8 hours.
Exactly.
The engineer probably another $450, you know what I'm saying? Producer, he probably charging $3,500, $5,000 to a beat, you know what I'm saying? Like, depends on how you feeling, you know what I'm saying? Also depends on who you is.
Yeah.
Like I say, the more success, the harder your job. The more success, the more money I gotta spend because people want, you know what I'm saying? Either clout or they trying to get in your pocket.
You add on top of this the pressure of now that he had some success and his family now seeing the traction he was getting.
One day it's like, oh yeah, he cool. Then you see him, they like, oh shit, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Then they go from, what's up, brother? Superstar. You know what I'm saying? So then when everybody started,
it was almost now an expected need that he did make it, because if he didn't, he was going to be letting down everyone. It was going to be seen as a huge disappointment.
it was hard growing up, but now the fact that I'm in a position is like, it's even harder. Because now you got people depending on you for sure. They were acting like they were depending on you so you could go harder. Now they depending on you for sure.
He was his family's way out at this point. And right whenever he ran out of money and the hype from the song was starting to die down, we ended up right here.
The man charged with Wheatley's death entered the mobile home, heard loud voices, and saw an armed Pride chase her grandson out of the mobile home.
And the young man was following him, shooting at him. And he finally shot him down. He fell here. He shot about 3 times after he fell. And he walked over to me and he pointed the gun at me and asked me if I was going to tell it. And he came back out here and fired a last shot in his head.
He later turned himself in to the Panola County Sheriff's Office, but Marianne Strong believes the shooting resulted from Wheatley's refusal to take part in one of Pride's music videos in California.
He wanted Marcus to follow him, and Marcus couldn't do it. He couldn't help him make more money.
In Panola County, Mike Suriani, WREG News.
Superstar Pride was not only a victim of his environment, but he was also a victim of his own success. He needed therapy, love, and psychoanalyzation. But instead, he got judgments from people on the internet, expectations of having to be a superstar, while only seeing people his whole life being poor. That is enough for anybody to want to take their own life. It just so happened though that this time, it happened to be somebody else's. Be careful and find internal validation, security, and comfort. So that way nobody or nothing will ever shake you or make you believe that something outside of you will bring you these things. Heed my warning, because if you don't choose these things, it could cost you your life. I appreciate the love so much. You know what I'm saying? This Alistair Virgo, you already know what I'm saying. Go check out my Instagram and my Twitch because I'm going to start streaming soon. I know I keep saying it, but trust me, it's freaking coming, man. I love getting comments, emails, and just messages of how my videos have helped change your guys' lives, inspired y'all, whatever it is. I love it, y'all. And I just want to say I love and appreciate y'all so much. And I'm very, very grateful. Anyways, though, I'll see you on the next video. Love.
Right, drop the beat.